The Case of the Haunted House Heist, a Halloween mystery. Every town has a story for Halloween night, and Willow Creek was no exception. For as long as anyone could remember, the local legend was about the Haunted Hollow, an old Victorian house on the edge of town. This looming, slightly lopsided mansion seemed like it came straight from a horror movie set. Towering spires, windows that looked like empty eyes, and a front porch that creaked even on windless days. Every year, a few brave souls dared to sneak up to its front door on Halloween night, ring the doorbell, and then dash away screaming. But this Halloween was different, because someone had decided that the Haunted Hollow was the perfect place for a heist. Our story's reluctant hero is Alex Jordan, Willow Creek's only true crime podcaster. Well, true crime might be a stretch. His stories often sounded more like a comedy routine than serious investigative reporting. Alex had a sharp wit and a knack for storytelling, but he never quite managed to capture the menacing tone he hoped. His episodes were peppered with comments like, "Now, if I were the criminal, I'd probably try hiding behind that obviously fake plant," or, "If the killer wanted to stay anonymous, maybe they shouldn't have written their name on the wall in ketchup." Alex was mostly considered the town's resident amateur detective, meaning he got called for minor crimes, like lost keys or missing mail. No one took him too seriously. Even his podcast's most loyal listener, his grandma Mabel, would occasionally tell him, "You know, Alex, if the world depended on you to solve a crime, we'd all be toast." But everything changed on Halloween morning when he got a frantic call from Mabel. She claimed that her prized collection of antique teapots had been stolen, and in a twist that surprised even Alex, she believed the theft had taken place in none other than the Haunted Hollow. "Now I know what you're thinking, Alex," Mabel said in her raspy, no-nonsense voice. "Why would anyone break into a haunted house to steal a set of teapots? That's exactly why I need you to investigate." Alex chuckled, convinced it was some Halloween prank or a new story angle his grandma wanted to pitch. But Mabel was serious, with an urgency that left no room for argument. "Get down here, young man. I need my teapots back. Or so help me, I'll put a curse on that podcast of yours." And so, at precisely 8 p.m. on Halloween night, Alex found himself standing at the gate of the Haunted Hollow, phone in hand, recording an impromptu episode. "Hello, listeners. Welcome back to True Crime Comedy," he announced with a grin. "Tonight, we're on location at Willow Creek's very own haunted house, where we're investigating a teapot heist. Yes, you heard that right. Just when you thought Halloween couldn't get any stranger." Alex was ready for a night of harmless fun. After all, he doubted he'd find anything scarier than the peeling wallpaper and the old dusty furniture that decorated the house. But then he noticed his grandma and her backup, 3 ladies from her bridge club, dressed as a SWAT team. Well, almost. They were in Halloween costumes that combined elements of witches, police officers, and Victorian detectives. All they were missing were the capes and magnifying glasses. The bridge club consisted of Betty, with her thick glasses and quick wit, Doris, who always had a pocket full of sweets and an impressive knack for bribing information out of kids, and Florence, the quietest but arguably the most cunning of the group. Armed with knitting needles, they looked ready to storm the house and take on whoever dared to cross their path. Alex stifled a laugh and gave his audience the lowdown. "All right, folks, the gang's all here. Meet the Willow Creek Investigative Task Force. Average age 82, but don't let that fool you. These ladies could take down a ghost if they had to." Before Alex could turn back, Mabel opened the gate and led the group up the stone path, determined as ever. Just as they approached the porch, A cold gust of wind made the door creak open, almost as if the house were inviting them in. Alex hesitated, but Mabel was already marching forward, her knitting needles at the ready. "Come on, Alex. My teapots aren't going to find themselves." As they stepped inside, the house seemed to come alive with Halloween ambience. Cobwebs hung from every corner. Shadows played tricks with their vision, and the faint sound of creaking echoed down the hallways. The place was unsettling, even for Alex, who had always been a skeptic about ghost stories. Yet tonight, something felt off. He chalked it up to the atmosphere, whispering to his recording, "Okay, listeners, here we are. It's dark, it's creepy, and there's a 90% chance that creaking noise is just bad plumbing." The gang began to explore, tiptoeing around corners and occasionally jumping at their own reflections. Betty, ever practical, pointed out that any sensible burglar would have worn a disguise and carried a flashlight. Doris reminded them of her suspicions about the new mailman who'd moved to town, while Florence quietly insisted they check the kitchen, claiming that any thief with taste would head straight for the tea stash. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon strange clues. A trail of cookie crumbs, a stray rubber glove, and a very suspicious note reading, "I told you the teapots were cursed." With each odd discovery, the Bridge Club ladies whispered theories to each other, while Alex recorded everything, amused by their dedication. His voice, trying to keep a straight tone, narrated, "Folks, we're on the trail of what may be Willow Creek's silliest criminal. The clues are cryptic. The suspects are elderly, and the stakes have never been higher, especially if you're a teapot enthusiast." Suddenly, a loud crash came from the room at the end of the hall, making everyone jump. Alex felt his heart race. Maybe this was more than just a game. Maybe, just maybe, there was someone else in the house. His grandma shot him a steely glance, her eyes gleaming with determination. "Come on, Alex. Let's go catch this hooligan." In that moment, Alex realized there was no turning back. He wasn't just there to humor his grandma. He was in the middle of an actual mystery. Haunted house or not, he was about to embark on his first real case. With this longer setup, we have a clear picture of the characters, the quirky tone, and the mystery awaiting them. The adventure in the Haunted Hollow promises a mix of slapstick and spooky suspense as Alex and the Bridge Club dive into their unlikely investigation. This setup could continue with the group's exploration of the house, strange run-ins, and of course, a humorous resolution to the case.